Well, hello, my friends. Welcome back to another episode of 15-Minute Free Thinking, the podcast that's brought to you by just me, Carpo, coming at you from my back, half office, half garage, from reality land, at least in my own mind. And when I make a podcast, it's usually a topic that I find important to share with people. If I make a YouTube video, it could be about anything, but podcasts I usually reserve for topics that I think can actually benefit individuals, as maybe arrogant as that may sound. And this particular one is about allowing people to have control over you. It's a very complicated subject, one that has many facets, and we're going to start off by discussing the idea of having a desire for power over others. What a lot of people might call control freaks. In every family group, in every friend group, in every group in general, there's always going to be at least one person who wants to take charge. Now, often this is good because as humans, we operate in groups. Not everyone is properly equipped to be a leader, and this is just a fact. So we adapt by having individuals that we choose to be our leaders for us and hope that they have our best interests at heart. And often, this is a good thing. It allows the rest of us to go about our daily life and flourish and make our money and do our thing, and then just give a little bit of money to what today you would call Uncle Sam to take care of the rest. Of course, this is not how it operates, and in general, we give way too much of our tax dollars for not enough results, and most people are unhappy with the way that, quote, power is operating at our expense using our tax dollars. But politicians have power over others. Therefore, they're allowed to do a lot more than the average person. They could get away with more. They're more likely to get out of prison, just like a billionaire or someone who can buy their way out. And this isn't about money or, wealthy or anything like that. This is about people who are entitled. I should say, this is about people who act as if they're entitled. If you want to take this back to the most extreme example, it would be something like, say, slavery, right? In today's world, we still have plenty of it, even building the stadiums for the World Cup, basically modern versions of slavery. And then we have trafficking, which, for all the talk about Texas, Houston is actually the trafficking capital, I believe, of the nation. Humans, of course. And the fact that humans have control over other humans, to me, it's very disturbing. The fact that humans take other young humans and put them in precarious positions in order to make money from them, using humans like livestock. I have enough of a problem using livestock alone, right? Not to get into the whole vegetarian thing, right? I'm not. I eat meat. But I'm respectable about how much I eat, and I respect and revere where my food comes from, right? But at the same time, the way some humans treat animals is horrendous. And even if a person could justify the way that animals are treated, to assume that you could justify how humans are treated when they're treated like cattle, to me is disgusting. And the reason this is important is because people have had control over other people for thousands of years, whether it be through the fear of some sort of a religious reprisal or a god or a devil, keeping groups under control by fear of oppression or fear of being put down, or say, don't speak out or you'll just disappear, like China or somewhere like that. And power over others has always been a desirable acquisition for most leaders, for most military. It's about winning the hearts and minds of the people in order to secretly take advantage of their subconscious and get them on your side without even realizing why. That's the most extreme form of power over people, forced power, taking over countries, things like that. Then we have the people in this world who fit into the next category, which is far below that, which is, say, those who just want power over individuals. This could be the husband wanting power over the wife, or a lot of times I've seen the wife having power over the husband, and I'm not talking physically, I'm talking mentally, like watching a show like Hoarders, or, something like that, where you see that a lot of guys have just kind of given up, right? And they don't want to speak up because they feel defeated, and there's nothing they can say to their wife or their spouse, husband, whatever it might be. It goes both ways. It's not a male or female thing. It's just a human thing. You might be in a situation with another human being where you feel like you're at your wit's end. This person has totally disrespected you, treated you bad, abused you maybe, harmed you in some way, and a lot of people do nothing about it because they feel like there's nothing that they can do about it. And this is why so many people continue to be abused by others and not say anything, because they assume that it's normal. A lot of folks assume that couples fight all the time, that people always, get into brawls and, physically harm each other and have altercations every night. It's not the way that people are meant to behave. But somehow people convince themselves of that because they're afraid of admitting that they're under control, under the spell of a violent person. Violent person against other people. That's kind of the next level. And then, to move down another tier, there would be like the Karens of the world, right? By now, I'm sure everyone's seen a million videos of some, 65-year-old lady in a poofy, Patagonia vest and some cheesy shorts and a visor out there harassing someone for fishing or standing or mowing a lawn at 7 in the morning instead of waiting till 7:30, these kinds of things. The people who want control over other people because they have no control over their own life. This is interesting because these often be the same kind, they're the same kind of people who are members of like homeowners associations or even school boards or CEOs. There's actually a higher level of what you would call defined sociopaths or psychopaths within the CEO realm, because most people don't want that kind of pressure and responsibility. But a person who already doesn't give a shit about people is more likely to take a position like that because they don't care who they have to step on to get there. Same thing happens in politics. So there are an entitled few that end up having the most power. And, that's a scary proposition when you really think about it, that the most entitled people, or I should say the people who feel most entitled, are often the ones who take the most power and make the biggest power grabs. And these are often the same kind of people who allow abuse of others and don't speak up against it. Think of all the billionaires who went to Epstein's Island and how few really said anything about it. Everybody in the world knows what was going on there. These people, because of their power and influence, felt entitled to a modern day abuse of young people. Don't know male or female, and don't even want to get into that, but everybody knows where I'm going with that, and it's disgusting that the wealthy always feel entitled to other people, and they think that the wealth gives them. I got cut off somewhere in the video, but I needed to continue and finish this. The point I was going to make is abuse of any form is completely unacceptable. If you're a shitty parent and you treat your kids like crap, if you teach your kids bad values because you're too lazy to be a good human being, that can be hard because who determines what's good and bad? But the main point being here that we all want to do what's right generally. There are very few people out there who want to control other people. The control freaks are very limited out there, and you'll find that most of the people who think they want to control other people really just want to control themselves and don't know how. And therefore, most people are kind of stuck in this cycle of feeling like they're a failure or their life isn't what they wanted it to be, so they blame it on someone else. Or the exact opposite. The person who they believe their life is perfect, they have everything they want, therefore everyone should live by their example. And I'm just saying everybody needs to think for themselves, be a rational human being, try to process things with an open mind. And I don't know what else to say. Thanks for listening. This is a kind of a rambling podcast. My camera cut off halfway through, so maybe I'll edit the video portion of it into something a little more interesting than my usual content, or maybe not, because I really don't know. But ultimately, I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you next time. Peace out. The leaf with the fungus. Seems it has a fungus on it.
And I found it.
Yep, you did find it. That's a really cool
I just
leaf.
found it on a plant. See? Let's try to take a fungus off.
Those are little mushrooms growing on that plant. That's really cool.
These are mushrooms?
Well, it's a fungus, it looks like. I've never seen a plant like that before.
Could be on the inside of the red.
Must be a parasitic fungus that grows on the plant.
You want to know where more is?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Mama.